Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. What's going on, guys? Just want to make sure everything is good on this end. Perfect. Wow, I started a little early because I got some things I need to do later. We got a really interesting show for you guys today. I want to let you guys know that the reason why I'm cranking out so much content is because I'm on vacation right now. My vacation ends late next week. Once I go back to work, you will not be getting this kind of content from me. You will probably get 1 or 2 shows a week, which is what I've been doing for years on YouTube. So I know there's a lot of information on this Matty Soto case. I know that a lot of stuff has been covered already, but at the same time, a lot of stuff hasn't been covered from my perspective. And I know that the reason why a lot of you guys come here is because I'm bringing you that law enforcement point of view of somebody who actually investigates sex crimes investigations. And really, this is a homicide case, but it has a very strong, and its roots comes out of an unfortunate sex crimes case. So I'm going to keep on trying to pump out as much content as possible, giving you guys my perspective on this topic so that when we do slow the show down, which we have to, it's inevitable. There's no way else to do it because I just don't have the time. You guys will at least have content to work with. We can focus on giving you guys even bigger shows when I am available to do content. But don't get me wrong. I don't want you to think for 1 second that I won't be making videos anymore. Not at all. We just won't be giving you as many shows as we're giving you right now. So anyway, I hope you guys had a great Sunday. Hope you spend time with your family members, and I hope you're ready for the work day that's about to start up for most of you. And for the rest of you, thank you so much, by the way, for giving me your Sunday and supporting the channel. We have a lot of new members. It's beautiful. It feels great. I know I've been doing a lot of lives, and you know that there's a blessing, and then it's also a curse because you don't want to oversaturate your audience. I know you guys have your own lives, and like every minute, Strategic is going live with another video. So please forgive me and understand why I'm doing it, all right? And this weekend was a little odd too because we had the whole assassination thing, so we had to jump on that with breaking news and all that. So it is what it is, all right? But today, strong, solid show for you guys. We're going to be going over the Stephan Stern's emails. I'm going to be looking at those emails to see if I see any type of double speak or anything like that, anything incriminating. Also, for those of you who don't remember, for those of you who've been around for a while, you know that I served 12 years in state corrections as a correction officer and then an investigator and a senior investigator. One of my duties, one of the ways that we solve these cases is by looking at inmates' correspondence with their families and friends. So I got to say, I'm an expert in this, okay? When it comes to inmate letters and mails, I'm an expert. I've read and intercepted thousands of pieces of inmate mail in my 12-year career working there. Now, when I went to policing, we don't do that as much in policing. You know, we don't intercept people's mail and all that stuff. So I haven't done it in a little while. But for 12 years out of my life, I was reading inmates' mail and looking for contraband and looking for inappropriate conduct and ferreting it out in their letters. So we're going to be looking through it with those eyes that honed those skills for over a decade. All right. So that's going to be very interesting. Another thing we're going to do, we also have pictures that I want to show you guys of the books, etc. We're going to go over some of the timeline of what happened. People are sending me information. They don't want to get credit for the information. So on some of these emails, I've edited out the person's information. If you have any information that you think would be helpful for the show, in this case or any other case, please reach out to strategiceyes@gmail.com. Strategic Eyes with a Z at the end. My moderators will go ahead and put that into the comment section at gmail.com. All right. Woo. Gonna loosen up this tie just a little bit because it's hot down in my basement. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. For those of you who haven't subscribed yet and you're just popping in, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And let's jump into this. Let's do it. All right. So we're going to start out It looks like it might be in chronological order. If it's not, I'll definitely let you guys know and we'll kind of fix it up. But let's start with the first one. It's basically from Stephan Stern's father, and he's basically like, how does this work? Whatever, how does it work? It's snail mail, whatever. I think we've heard that before. Other people have covered this topic, so we don't have to be as in-depth, even though we're going to be in-depth. For the things that aren't probative, we could maybe skip over. We'll see how it flows. Maybe we just might go through everything, but let's see what we got, okay? Because I haven't read the entirety of these emails, and I don't know what they have in it. All right. So the first one is basically the father testing it out. And he said he thinks it's going to get limited use because everything is being monitored. Right. So right then and there, that shows you the mindset of this family. Now, he's not lying. This is monitored. And when I was in the jail system doing investigations, we didn't have emails in New York State. We didn't have any emails in New York State. OK, we had snail mail. And so what we had to do was open up that mail, make photocopies of it, and then seal it back up and send it. I think the whole email thing is the most ingenious idea that ever came to law enforcement, to corrections, because you don't have to go through all of those processes to see what's in the mail. Everything goes through the email, and you can simply just have a copy forwarded to you using software. No big deal. Before we jump back into it, I just want to say I do like engaging with the chat, and you guys ask great questions and bring good points up. It's very hard to manage this show. Like I told you guys before, this is the screen right here. I'm going to look the way I'm supposed to look. This is the screen right here with the emails. This is the screen right here with OBS, which is my streaming software. This is the stream right here with my YouTube studio where I can see your comments. So in order for me to know you're sending me an email, you have to write at True Crime with Strategic, because it's bright. It's highlighted with bright orange, and I can see it in my peripheral, and then I'll know, switch over here and see what people have to say. If you send me a message, I will show you love, and I will see what you have to say. Definitely make it something probative, make it something worthwhile, because I'm going to stop the show and see what you got going on. So you know what? It is what it is. But definitely, if you want my attention, you have to say at True Crime with Strategic. Otherwise, I won't be able to know that you have something to say for me, because I can't read the chat while I'm managing the rest of the show, okay? So that being said, let's get back into this. So the mindset of this family is already sneaky. They're already like, hey, let's be careful what we say, because we don't want to say anything that's going to hurt Stephan Stern's and all that stuff, our son, all right? They're all about self-preservation. Now, listen, my kids are young. I hope to God that with all the hard work me and mommy are putting into raising these children, that they don't grow up to do horrible things to other people, right? I don't know what the future holds. Neither do any of you who are in this chat. But I highly doubt, knowing who I am right now, that I could know what Stephan Stern's did if he's my son and still support him. That's a character flaw to me. It's a character flaw that if you just watch one news station, you don't have to be into true crime. You don't have to watch 1,000 shows. You don't have to watch the Strategiceyes show. You don't have to do none of that. If you just turn on the TV and watch one news coverage of Stephan Stern's, you would know he's guilty of sin. His parents know that he was essaying Madeline Soto since she was 8 years old. And once again, this is my opinion, guys. I believe it was happening since she was 6 years old. Some of you guys will disagree. Some of you guys will throw all kinds of facts at me in the chat. No, it was 8 because it's this and that. 8 years old is when they have evidence of it. I'm telling you, 6 years old is when it started. And some people's like, well, he wasn't in her life at that. The mother was interviewed, and the mother said that they were together for 7 years. Women know these things. Women remember every anniversary. They remember when you proposed. They remember when you first went on your first date, all that good stuff. She said they was together for 7 years. Stephan Stern's, when he was asked how long he was with jensoto, he said several years. So I'm going with 7 years. And if we're going with 7 years, that's 6 years old. And I believe he was abusing that child since she was 6 years old. So if the parents, knowing the evidence that we have, still support their son, they are part of the problem. 1,000% part of the problem. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button. We got a $5 super chat from 877 Swiss Miss, says Q for strategic. What do you think of the MAPS movement, non-offending PDF? Do you believe that? I don't know what the MAPS movement is. I think I've heard somebody use that term before. Please, you don't have to give another super chat. Please, in the chat, define the MAPS movement, and I'll answer that question. I don't want you to think that you got to send me another super chat for me to continue to answer the question. It's not that kind of show. We're not milking our audience here, okay? Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. We're all here to engage with each other. So please, somebody please define the MAPS movement so I can answer that question for 877 Swiss Miss. All right. And Aki, when you see it, post it. Minor attracted on strategic, on True Crime with Strategic, we try and be as professional as possible, but we're dealing with topics that are very sensitive, heart-wrenching, and difficult to talk about. How can I answer that question and still be professional? If I was dictator of the world, I guess I would assemble everybody who is a part of the MAPS movement on Bikini Island. And if anybody knows what Bikini Island is, then you'll know what the next thing I'll do would be. And I'll just leave it at that, okay? That's what I think about the MAPS movement, okay? That is what I think about it. And I hope that answered your question. And if anybody knows what Bikini Island is, please put it in the chat for the people who don't know what my next decision would be once I assemble all of those MAPS people on Bikini Island, okay? Unbelievable. All right, so let's jump into this. Okay. So I guess, who's this from? So this is, so this is from Stephan Stearns. He says, hey, I just got access to the tablet. They have moved me to a regular isolation cell in C-Pod now. Presumably, this is where I'll stay for a while. It's not exactly the Ritz. Let me go ahead and just zoom in real quick so it's easier on my eyes. Perfect. It's not exactly the Ritz. It's a small cell, and the pod is quite noisy. I didn't think I would miss the medical pod, but now I wish I was back in a big cell where at least I could partially see out the window and look at the sky and the grass and the trees off in the distance as they swayed in the breeze. This guy wants to be all, philosophical and poetic and all that bull crap. Were you thinking about this reality when you were abusing that little girl? What about her enjoyment of the breeze and the grass and the trees? Like this little girl, her whole reality was, when I go home, I'm going home to living hell. Think about that. That was her reality. It's very troublesome, man. It's so tragic. Let's keep going. I would try to call as soon as possible. I want to hear those jail calls, by the way, because all of those calls are recorded, and I hope that they're allowing that to be foiled. Most likely it will be evidence if there's anything probative in it, but I really do hope that we're able to get our hands on those phone calls. So let's keep going. Hopefully soon, I suppose. I would like Congo and The Hobbit to be among the next ones that you send, please. And maybe as a book on, maybe also a book on origami. That could be interesting to learn and a good way to pass time and satisfy my need to create and craft and use my hands. Let's try that. Hopefully it's allowed, since it's just folding paper, which I have plenty of, into different shapes. So it shouldn't be a security concern, I wouldn't think. All right, so we do have the books that this knucklehead, not that, okay, that this knucklehead was sent by his family. So these are the books here. These are the books in its entirety, not just the books that were requested in this particular email. But as we read more, he's going to ask for different books And these are the books in entirety that was sent to Stephan Stearns by his mother and his father. And what are the similarities with all these books? They're all pretty much children's books. They're books for teenagers. There's not one book in there that one would say an adult would be interested in reading. Now, there's some books like, Michael Kreischer, maybe that's like a horror book. Maybe adults might read that book. But the majority of them are like, to have nothing but books that fall in that same genre and vein just shows you the mentality of this guy. This guy was a man in arrested development, ladies and gentlemen. He was a man child. And the only reason I could see jensoto or any other woman be attracted to him is because she was looking for a babysitter. And I think a lot of time, that's what we get. We get, people who are looking for babysitters, bringing bad people, questionable people into their lives, and their children have to bear the brunt of those mistakes. I don't see what this woman, and I don't know much about jensoto, but I don't see what she or any other woman would have seen in Stephan Stearns. Because every other woman that we know of that was involved in Stephan Stearns were usually young women who were not even close to his age, such as the alleged 14-year-old girl who was dating him when he was 20 years old. This is a man in arrested development. It's a man child. Let's keep going. So this is from Chris Stearns, the father, a failure of a father. And you have a son who is almost 40 years old playing with Warhammer 40K and Mech Assault and Star Wars and collecting figurines instead of getting a trade and working a job and actually contributing to society and leeching off of a low self-esteem, mentally ill woman who's allowing him, in my opinion, to abuse her child, either willfully or negligently. So Chris Stearns, you are a failure of a father, unfortunately, and your failure resulted in the abuse and death of a beautiful little girl. Let's see what Chris Stearns has to say. Good to hear about your transfer and access to the tablet. Will this be full-time or limited like this passed around on rotation? Let me know how often you have access to the tablet. We'll write something every day. Can you send your mother an invite so she can write you separately? I will help her get set up on her computer. We confirmed a few books we received yesterday, the 18th, 5 of them, and 1 more on Monday. We'll jump on the origami book and order it now. The puppies are doing well, and Lacey is a super mom. Get this, yesterday mom had to rescue one of the puppies who got its leg in the collar. She snagged the puppy out of the pen. She sat down on the bed to adjust the collar. While she was sitting there, Lacey, at the dead standstill, leaped over the 3-foot pen and landed squarely on the bed to be with her puppy. I hate to think what would have happened if she miscalculated the jump. Today, after many consecutive days of rain and threatening rain, no rain. We're in the rainy period of nonstop torrential rain that creates chaos with home building, flooding, and messy days. I think he's into like real estate or something. That's why this is important to him. We're in the rainy period, nonstop torrential, flooding, messy days. At least the ponds and retention ponds are looking normal again. They were really low. Tomorrow we travel with Lacey and the puppies to get to the vet to have the dew claws removed. This will be fun. Anybody know what a dew claw is? What dew claws are? I'm not a dog person. I don't have any dogs, but I'm curious. Put it in the chat. And Aki, please put it up there so it could catch my attention, or put @strategic. Let's keep going. This will not be fun. Not, although it's better than your mother doing it, who is always a nervous wreck. It's worth the expense to avoid. 7 puppies is 28 dew claws. Yup. Better to have the vet do it. Mom's writing a message below. Ordered the origami kit, which is a book and 20 pieces of specific origami paper for the patterns. Also sent out the Hobbit and Congo. That will be it book-wise for the next couple of weeks. Those should hold you. I have the rest you want in a cart and marked as saved for later, so I wouldn't forget which ones you wanted. This is mom writing. Love you, love and hugs to you. All right, let's keep going. And this used to be so boring as a part of my job when I was doing investigations. I was reading inmate letters and stuff, how people kind of narrate their life to create conversation. There's only but so much conversation you can have with a person who's incarcerated. So I think it's just human nature, because all families did this. They just started narrating their life, talking about trying to make the most mundane things in their everyday life excitable, so it could bring some type of entertainment to the inmate. I get it. I'm not downplaying it. People are, supporting their loved ones. But it's one thing when you're in jail for stealing a car, burglary, whatever. It's another thing when you're a murderer. It's another thing when you're a child rapist like Stephan Stern. And he's basically the double entente. He's a child rapist and a murderer, and I just don't understand why some family members turn a blind eye to the facts of this person being a horrible individual and still maintain what presumably seems like normal relationships with them. Like, I get it if you love your loved one and you're like, I'm going to send you some money just so you could be a little comfortable, but I'm not going to play a big part in your life because I'm ashamed of you. I get that. But like, to talk to this person like nothing happened, I can't wrap my head around it. And I hope the good Lord never puts me in a position where I have to figure it out. I hope not. So let's keep going. This is Stephan Stearns, inmate number 1419688. How about I write Stephan Stearns a letter and see if he'll respond back to me? I mean, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be the only one. I'm pretty sure 1,000 people have already sent Stephan Stearns a letter. I'm thinking I send him a snail mail letter. I think it might catch his attention more if I send him an actual letter than if I just sent him an email. Because I think this email thing, you got to pay for it and stuff like that. I'm not paying a cent. Well, I'll pay a couple of cents. I'll give Stephan Stearns 99 cents to cost for me to get a letter and a stamp and a pen and paper to print out or whatever, or write out the letter. But I'm not paying to send him an email. You know what I mean? But I think that's something I'm going to do. I think we're going to reach out to Stephan Stearns and see if he's willing to correspond with me and answer my questions. Maybe he might want to do it. Maybe not. You never know unless you try, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to reach out to Stephan Stearns. All right, so let's keep going. We got all this information. I'm going to write a letter to this guy. All right, let's keep going. So Stephan responds to his father, and he says, hey, the battery's low, so I got to be quick here. I don't know how often I will get the tablet since others use it and just have to wait until it's available. Can't get the commissary to work on it yet. Don't know why, but see if you can drop another $30 in there in the meantime so I can stock up on plenty of coffee. As for books, remove Christine, It, and Eyes of the Dragon from the list. And just wait for the Howling Trilogy book to be available to send that. The battery is about to die now. I love you both, and I accept Mom's previous request to connect. Hugs and kisses, TRYL. What does TRYL means? I thought talk to you later, but did he do a spell checking error? I don't know. What is TRYL? Let me know in the chat. I'm old. I'm not up with the new hip talk. Literally, I'll write out, I'll talk to you later. Like, whatever. So it looks like this guy is obsessed with his coffee, but let's keep going. So the next one comes on 6/19/2024 at 9:05 p.m. He responds and he says, okay, we'll do, love you too. This is from the dad. Then the dad sends another one. He says, hey, Stephan, I confirmed today the books will deliver minus the playing cards. They have to confirm if they're allowed. If not, they will be replaced with your personal property. And this is funny because he's never going to see his personal property again. Like, your personal property is sealed away until you're released from prison. And since he'll never be released from prison, he'll never see his personal property again until they deliver his ashes and his personal property to his parents after they execute him, because he will be executed. But let's keep going, okay? Puppies and Lacey went to the vet to have Doe's claws removed. We dock the tails ourselves. Now, what is tail docking? Anybody know what tail docking is on dogs? I've heard that term before. Once again, I'm not a dog person. I don't have dogs, so I don't know what tail docking is. Is it like amputating the tail? I mean, docking seems like it's cutting or something. I don't know. Somebody explain what tail docking is to me. And we do have a new Strategic Crew Eyes member. This is Nina Drew. Thank you so much for joining the family and becoming a member of Strategic Eyes Show. That's right. A membership is only 99 cents. So thank you for taking advantage of that. And for the people who are watching the show, we have over 100 people watching right now. Can we please send those likes up, support the channel, send those likes up, way up. There's a lot of people watching who could contribute and help us in the algorithm. I'm not asking for you to send the likes up for any other reason, only for our channel to be placed in the algorithm and we can see a wider audience. That's it. That's all I'm asking for with the likes. They give me no special anything. They don't give me any extra money. They don't give me anything. It's just so that our show can be seen by a wider audience. All right, let's keep going. Okay. He said, glad that that's done. Puppies and Lacey are resting. Crashed out, nothing else to report. Now, if they're docking, I think that's like amputating the tails of these dogs. If they're doing that themselves, like, isn't that animal cruelty? Like, are they giving these animals anesthesia and stuff like that? Amy Katz says some breeds have shortened tails. Let me bring that up there. Like Rottweiler, like shortened tails, like Rotties. But are these animals getting anesthesia? Are they being treated humanely if Stephan Stern's mother and father are like cutting them off in their own house? Like, nah, I can't. I'm gonna call you Rookie because I cannot pronounce that name. That name is crazy. Rookie says it's illegal to dock ears and tails in the UK. Right. So I wonder if it's illegal in America. It may not be because two different countries. But even if it's legal and you're gonna dock those tails in America, you're doing it in your house. Are you using proper anesthesia? Are you properly disinfecting, this surgical procedure that you're doing in your house? I wonder if it's legal for them to do it in their home, because it may be legal to do it in America, but it may not be illegal to do it. It may not be legal to do it yourself. But anyway, let's keep going. Glad that's done. Puppies and Lacey are racing. Crashed out. Nothing else to report. It was a restless night for your mom and Lacey. Lacey, as you know, is quite vocal and is very vocal with your mother during the night, wanting attention, food, or to be let out. Lacey is a good mother, but very demanding. I hope your mom survives the 10 weeks. At this pace, I'm not sure. LOL, catch you later. All right, let's go. Now, this one's from Stephan Stearns to his father, Chris Stearns. Hey, I finally have the tablet again. I can confirm I have begun to receive the books, Dragon Teeth, Sphere, Timeline, Eaters of the Dead, and Sudoku. I have already read from the Dragon Tooth and Timeline since Thursday, and am now reading Eaters of the Dead. Unfortunately, they would not allow the book on card games because it's also continued playing card. I think he meant to say contained playing cards, or maybe it was just playing cards. Not sure. But it was placed in my property. Also, the origami book arrived and suffered the same fate because it contained paper in addition to the book, which sucks. So I still need a book, just a book on it and nothing else. Could you possibly send a new one that is just a book, and going forward, send only books and nothing else with them? It sounds like he's very demanding with his parents. They're going out their way to try and send you these books. I guess, it's important for them to understand that if it has anything else, but like he just keeps hammering it in. Seems very ungrateful and very demanding. I don't know. I don't know their family dynamics. Let's keep going. Please make sure mom understands this as well. Let me go back. Send books and nothing else with them. That's the rule, and there is no allowance for any deviation from or reinterpretation of that rule. Listen to how he's talking. Listen to how he's talking. Like he's really like sucking it to his parents because they made that simple mistake of sending a book that had card dates. Before I continue, let's go over here to Hamburger Helper. He said, docking is allowed for certain breeds according to the AKC, American Kennel Club. It's not done surgically. They basically tie a string around the tail to cut off circulation and it falls off. Thank you so much for clarifying. I appreciate it. And it's nice to know because I'm not just trying to beat up on these people. It's nice to know that it can be done humanely at home and it's not a big deal. So as long as they're doing it humanely and they're not hurting those dogs, I'm cool with it. I'll give that one to the Stern family. They did nothing wrong, and it's totally legal. It is what it is. I beat up on people when they do things wrong. If you're doing something right, I'm not coming for you. Right is right, wrong is wrong. All right, back to this. But he sounds very nasty and demanding to his parents, which is kind of crazy to me. Let me read that one more time. That's the rule, and there is no allowance for any deviation from or reinterpretation of that rule. Please make sure mom understands this as well, as these items do me no good, locked away in my property. And of course he didn't spell property correctly, but we know what he was trying to say. And are therefore also impossible for you to refund or exchange either, which is just a total waste all around. Oh yes, I'm sure Lacey is quite demanding and starving all the time now. Starving and demanding just like you, Stephan. What a douchebag. And I completely believe she is capable of leaving mom feeling harassed and henpecked. LOL. Life here in C-Pod ISO is an adjustment. Just getting an eating utensil, which means it's a hassle. Paper spoons are provided to people in suicide watch and medical, but apparently not here in the regular pods, which leads me to believe there must be a standard issue utensil, which I don't have. When I mentioned this to the officer dispensing food at lunch, he said, figure something out, and walked away. Yeah, it sounds like a CEO. Love it. Miss those days. Figure something out, a-hole. I will have to, because Stephan Stern is too civilized to eat with his hands, right? No, those hands are better served touching little girls. You know, I could never eat with my fingers, right? I could just abuse people with these fingers. He's such a douchebag. Let's keep going. And listen, guys, like I said, I like to be professional. But when it comes to Stephan Stearns, it's very hard to maintain professionalism because he really is a horrible person. And I know our system says guilty until, innocent until proven guilty. And you have that presumption of innocence. This is one of those few cases, because it doesn't happen often. But it's one of those few cases that we know Stephan Stearns is guilty. We know this, all right? He simply pleaded not guilty for whatever reason. If Stephan Stearns was a man and was ready to own up to his crimes, he would say, I'm pleading guilty, and we'd be done with at least this part of the case, the ex-abuse part, by the end of this year. But he's not a man, and he's going to make the state fight, and he's going to bring us to court, and he's going to make the Soto family, the ones who loved Maddie, the ones who tried to do right by Maddie, because not all of the Soto family is bad. Don't think that. The only person who screwed up on Maddie was her mom's. You can't blame her grandmother. You can't blame her aunts. You can't blame her nieces. You can't blame her cousins. You can't blame none of those people. So the Soto family, they're going to suffer because they're going to have to go to court to deal with this stuff and watch as the prosecutor lays out their case and shows the pictures of Maddie being abused on teleprompters, on screens, on billboards inside of that courtroom. That's the true monstrosity of Stephan Stearns, the fact that he wants that family to go through that. And Maddie's biological father and his family, well, guess what? Same thing. He's going to be in that courtroom, and he's going to be forced to watch videos and watch pictures of his daughter being abused by Stephan Stearns. That's what really makes him a monster. And here's this guy acting all entitled and acting like he's a civilized individual. He's not civilized. He's a monster. But anyway, let's keep going. Big shout out to Lou, who's now a member of the Strategic Eyes crew, and Agro Vixen, a longtime viewer and follower of the Strategic Eyes show. Long time, been with me for years, has now also made herself a member of the Strategic Eyes show. We really do appreciate you. We definitely miss you, and it was great to have you back and see you a part of the Strategic Eyes family. Oh, amazing. It's just such a amazing crew of people. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. I will have to talk to the officers. Since I started in suicide watch, and for the last 3.5 months, I've been in an area that are heavily restricted. I suspect There are many things which I should have never been received. The mat is flat and has very little cushion left. Look, he's just a little crybaby. The mat is flat and has very little cushion left because we want you to be as comfortable as possible, Stephan. You know, just as comfortable as you made Maddie, right? Come on, man. The cell is small, yeah, because you want the deluxe cell. He wants that deluxe cell. He wants the sweet cell, right? Filthy and has some spots on the wall that appear to be bloody fingerprints. So it's 7 puppies instead of 8. Also, did the social worker pass my notes to you regarding the account to cancel the Spotify subscription yet? What do you care about them canceling the Spotify subscription? What do you care? I mean, come on, let's be serious here. You're in jail, dude. You'll never see freedom again. I also had some instructions for some of my personal property in there for you. I definitely can't wait till we get to the email where he starts talking about the personal property, because it's so interesting to hear about this man child. Unbelievable. Please hit that like button, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, support the channel. Let's keep going. His father returns an email saying, good to hear from you. Sorry to hear about the hassle. I'll instruct your mother accordingly. Listen how they talk. Like, I'll instruct your mother accordingly. Like, wow. They're all about business in this family. How long do you get to hold the tablet? ? I just arrived home and need to unload groceries, but saw your message and wanted to get back to you right away. Then the father sends another email. I have it basically until actually, this is Stephan returning to his father. I have it. He actually responds 4 minutes later. So it's almost like they're almost like chatting with each other through email. But 4 minutes later, Stephan's response, I have it basically until they ask for it back, which may be an hour or 2, sometimes longer, depending on demand and how attentive the officers are. And this is weird because in most jails, each inmate will have a tablet. It seems like they're passing a tablet around. For security purposes, for investigative purposes, I'd rather every single inmate have tablets. You want Stephan Stearns to have a tablet all night long, all day, every day. Why? Because he's going to get bored and he's going to say something in the email. He's going to want to reach out to people, reach out to friends. He's going to want to talk to his parents more. He's going to ask his parents to give some friends, the instructions so that he can then email them. And what ends up happening? You make mistakes. You say things you should not say, and that is evidence against you. So we don't want him using the tablet sparingly. We want him having access to that tablet 24 hours a day so he can make mistakes. Let's keep going. All right. By the way, we're working on the Let's Keep Going t-shirts and hoodies and merch and all that. Let's keep going. You guys have asked for it. You're going to get it. So when we post it up, I hope you guys support it. Grab yourself some Let's Keep Going t-shirts. Let's keep going. And you guys think I'm doing that on purpose? It just literally comes out. It's just my thing on YouTube. Now, I never say that in my real life. But when I'm on YouTube, it just comes out, okay? It's not even like I say it on purpose. Let's keep going. Oh, my God, I said it again. Now I think I have Tourette's. I think I might be mentally ill right now with this Let's Keep Going thing. Anyway, I failed to respond to your earlier question about the note from the social worker. No, we have not received anything from her yet. Okay. And this social worker can't just pass things to Stephan Stearns' family and stuff like that. That stuff has to be photographed and vetted by the prison, and all that stuff pretty much has to go past the prosecutor as well. If that social worker communicates stuff directly with the family without going through some type of process, they're actually, violating rules, I would believe, and possibly could be construed as aiding and abetting in this guy circumventing the communication protocol of this correctional facility. All communications are monitored, and if you find people who can go through that monitoring, or around it rather, to deliver information, that's a problem. And so that's why I think this message wasn't delivered to the family, because it has to be vetted first. A lot of times you may think that an inmate is giving you a mundane message, and that might be code. So the message might be, can you please do me a favor? Can you tell my mother that I love her, and I can't wait to write her a card on her birthday on January 16th. and you think that this inmate is just saying, you know, happy birthday to mom, and I'm going to contact you on January 16th, 0116 might be a code for something. It might be a code for something. You might be ordering a hit on a person from an inmate in jail, and you think you're just spreading a salutation to a loved one for an inmate. You want to be a nice jailer. You want to be a nice social worker. You want to be a nice correction officer, and you think you're just reaching out and just doing them a favor, and it might just be that you're actually ordering a hit on somebody on the outside by passing that message along. It's that serious, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going. So Stephan says to his father, okay, no problem. She's probably waiting approval from the attorneys. She has to run everything by them first. It looks like I've used up the free bonus messages on the system. So now I'll start using the credits. It seems like this message will use 50 credits. How much do these credits cost? I currently have 200. As far as the notes are, about some of my personal property at the house, it was mostly instructions for what to do with my Warhammer 40K miniatures and terrain. And do I have I think I have a Warhammer. I think I have a Warhammer figurine somewhere over here, like a Necron. Hold on here. I have a Necron. Give me 1 second. No. So listen, Warhammer is not just for weirdos. I'm not really into the games of Warhammer, but I'm into the storyline of Warhammer. It's basically a board game, but you play it with like figurines, and a lot of people are into it. Superman is into it, whatever his name is, the most recent Superman. He's a big Warhammer 40K fan, and basically it's like 40,000 years in the future, humanity's like in perpetual war with all types of aliens and dark forces and all that stuff. It doesn't make him a weirdo because he's involved with Warhammer, but it seems like this stuff is his whole life, right? It's his whole life, okay? So instructions on what to do with my Warhammer 40K miniatures and terrain. And when you get it, these miniatures and terrain, like I bought large Warhammer figurines. That's not usually what Warhammer enthusiasts get. They usually get the small figurines that they could use in the actual board game. But I bought large ones so that me and my son could paint them, because they're monsters and they're aliens and then they're soldiers and all that stuff. And we have all this paint, and we sit down and we just paint them funky colors. We're not trying to impress anybody, whatever. But the enthusiasts like this dude and other people, they'll paint the figurines like as lifelike, as artistic as possible, and then they'll go play the game. And part of the game is not just playing the game, but it's also the presentation, like how much effort and love and care you put into decorating your figurines. And they just come gray, and you have to actually bring them to life or whatever. So a lot of people are into this thing, right? But this guy's a man child because that's all he's into. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't work. You know, like I came home, like one thing, I'm not deeply into it. And if I was, I wouldn't be ashamed to say so. I'm not impressing anybody here, right? But I'm not deeply into it, all right? Sometimes on YouTube, I'll listen to the lore and the backstory because it's interested and I'm into sci-fi. But I come home, me and my son, when I bought the figurines, we paint them, we have fun, we bond, then we put it down and we get back to the real world. But it seems like this was the real world for Stephan Stearns. All he cared about was nerdy figurines and molesting little kids. That's it. That's all Stephan Stearns cared about. Warhammer and other games like that, and molesting little kids. And that's the problem with Stephan Stearns. Big shout out to H. Sin with a $5 super chat. Says, viewers, please hit the like. Listen, she just paid $5 to ask you guys to hit the like button. First of all, thank you a million for doing that. But that's a big ask. So she's asking you to hit the like button. She's paying to ask you to hit the like button for free. Okay? So please help out the show and hit that like button. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And I just want to let it known, you don't have to send me a super chat to get acknowledged on this channel. It helps the channel. We need the support and we appreciate it. But I don't want anybody to think that this is the type of show that we're asking you to send us money. We're not asking you to do anything. If you do it out the kindness of your heart, we appreciate it. But everybody doesn't have means to do that. And we don't want people to think that there's gatekeepers to reaching strategic. I'm here for the people. I'm here for the victims. You reach out, I'm going to reach back. All right, so let's keep going. I have a bin of terrain pieces in a yellow and black bin in the garage. Terrain is like, it's like really involved. It's not like a board you put out. Like it's a big mat. Sometimes the mat could be like 8x8. Like we're talking about massive, sometimes 6x6. And on this mat, this rubber mat, you put woods and buildings. That's what he's calling terrain. You put like props on these maps, and then you set up your soldiers and your aliens or whoever you're playing as, whether you're playing as the bad guys or you're playing as the good guys. You set them up in these various places on the map, and then you roll the dice and you read the instructions and you play the game. So he's saying he has terrain in those bins, right? And these things could be worth a little bit of money. There are people who are willing to buy these things. So the terrain pieces in yellow and black are in the bin garage, in the garage that have been left near the treadmill, and several plastic boxes full of minis. Minis are the small figurines. That's what they call them in that hobby. In my room, even under the desk, if you want to get them out of the way, I was going to suggest finding one of my friends on my Facebook page, Matt Mizell. His name is out there now. Matt, don't take nothing from Stephan Stearns, please. Please remember that if you take those minis, you might be into this genre, but you take those minis and you're playing with them, understand Stephan Stearns' dirty fingers were on those figurines. The fingers that he used to abuse an angel were on those figurines. Those figurines need to be boxed up, they need to be taken to a landfill, and they need to be burned. And then the ashes need to be buried in the landfill. Don't take those figurines, Matt Mizell. And please, nobody search up Matt Mizell. Nobody go bother that man. He ain't doing nothing wrong. He probably had sparing conversations with Stephan Stearns. They probably just linked up on Facebook through like a hobby group or something for Warhammer 40K. Don't go chasing that man down. I'm just saying, as a personal message to Matt, don't take those figurines from this family. Let's keep going. And seeing if he would be interested in any of them or the terrain, or if he might be able to help you sell them. If you would rather just donate them to the Northport group, he could possibly help with that too, if he is willing. Contact him, see if he is willing to, and if so, coordinate with him. As for any of my Battletech minis or supplies, and that's something I had to look up. I didn't know what Battletech was, but apparently it's a not so popular kind of mech game where like it's like little machines, little robots with guns and stuff like that. I just leave those alone for now. There are some boxes for Battletech and also a small gray box with a red handle that is labeled Battletech near the handle. That contains a lot of my Battletech minis. Just keep that aside along with anything else Battletech related until we know more about how things would go. Matt wouldn't be interested in them, and almost none of the other guys play it either. So hold on to it until I figure out on my end. There is a second small gray box with a red handle that is not labeled. It contains a lot of Star Wars Legion minis, and it belongs with all the stuff that is in blue bag on the closet floor that contains a bunch of the Star Wars Legion and X-Wing stuff. I don't know what to do with that. I don't think Matt would be interested, but maybe Tristan might like it if you guys are inclined to ship it up to him. I don't know. It's up to you. My trading card games and cards that are in the plastic drawers under my desk, leave them alone for now. But if we need to part with them in the future, Frank Peralta may be interested in some of them. But as I said, leave them for now until things become more certain for me, one way or the other. They have some value. And as for my Tamagotchi and V-Pet collection, is he talking about those little... He has a collection of Tamagotchi and V-Pets. You guys know what those were? Let me see if I could pull this up here to show you guys the Tamagotchi and V-Pet. These are the Tamagotchis right here. Let me pull this out. These are Tamagotchis and V-Pets. He collected these things. Remember back in the days, this was like the big craze? And you like play with the pet and you feed it and it grows and it gets bigger, or it'll get sick if you don't play with it. and it might die and all that bull crap. Like, you guys remember this? Like, the little babies we were playing with this when we were in junior high school. I'm 40 years old now. Apparently he has like a collection of that. Like, this guy is a straight up loser, man. I'm sorry. He is definitely a loser. Let's keep going. All right. And as far as my Tamagotchi and VPET collection, this is hanging in the closet and around the room. Don't do anything with them just yet until we know how things will shake out. A lot of them are rare, expensive, and difficult / impossible to replace in the kind of pristine condition they are in. So leave them be for now until we know more about what my situation is going to be. Your situation is going to be the death penalty, Stephan. That is your situation. Your situation is going to be on the gurney, getting that state-sponsored love juice shot into your arm until you are no more. That is your situation, Stephan. Sorry for the info dump, but basically just contact Matt Mizell about my Warhammer stuff. See if he's willing to help you with it. And don't get rid of any of my other stuff until we know more. How about I contact Stephan Stearns and I tell him, hey, I'd like your Warhammer stuff. And then he could his parents could ship the Warhammer stuff. Since they're so generous, they can ship it to me at their own cost. And then we can have a destroy his Warhammer stuff pool party. Okay? We'll just burn it together and bury it in a landfill. That sounds like fun. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. So his father responds and says, cost is 50 credits per message. When I send a message, it allows me to check a box that returns 50 credits to your account. I'll discuss all of this with your mother and get back to you. Hey, Steph. Sorry for the delay. This is his father again in responding. I just saw this. Amazon canceled the order, but we reordered it. Mom ordered a replacement origami book, but on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that. The puppies are doing well. We recorded one of the puppies who was making sounds like Chewbacca and immediately decided to call the puppy Wookie. Lacey is being a super mother, takes after her mother, Chrissy. Wish I could show you a photo of her nursing towards the end of the first day. She's face plant and the puppies are nursing. Some sort of, I'm exhausted, just nurse and leave me alone. Not much going on other than working in puppy. Here's mom. As we were talking on the phone last time, I was looking up the books you said you wanted and putting them in the cart for later. I wanted to make sure I got the right ones. We send one a couple of times. I did reorder Congo. I don't know why Amazon canceled it, but they did. Maybe didn't have one available in paperback. Hopefully the one goes through dad is right. And Lacey, she is a great testament to Chrissy as Chrissy was to Dazzle. So I guess these are generations of pups that she was breeding. And I guess they get old and they pass away. And then, you know, one of the daughters will take over, etc. Pups are gaining 2 to 3 ounces a day. Not all are over a pound. I'm about halfway through with the ENS exercises. They only go for 2 weeks. Looks like eye shine in the inner corners of the eyes, but next week they'll be able to see, hear, and start walking. They are loud. I don't get much sleep between the heat lamp, night lamp, pups making their noises, and Lacey's demand to be taken outside every other hour and fed every 4 to 5 hours. It is truly a labor of love for us both. Love smelling and holding pups again. Wish you were here too. I finally reached the 50 pounds lost mark. Dad is looking like a third world refugee. He is so skinny. I'm sure these people are skinny over stress. Big hugs and stay strong. We love you. All right. This is Stephan to his dad. Let's keep going. We're going to get through all of these guys. Hey, dad looks that skinny. Wow. And congrats to mom for the 50-pound milestone. I imagine I look rather changed as well. I just got to look at my face in the dark reflection of this tablet. My eyes are a bit sunk in with dark circles underneath. Like, he just kind of like, they're trying to give him good news, like kind of just pick him up. And he has always got to return the favor with, woe is me, I'm a victim. Woe is me. And I got to tell you, like, reading hundreds, thousands, definitely thousands of inmate letters from the previous employment in state corrections. Other inmates didn't do this. They would try and stay upbeat. They would try and be encouraging to their family members. They would try and, you know, make them not worry about them. It's like he wants his elderly parents to worry about him, and there's nothing they can do to help him. It just shows his character. It really does. But let's keep going. Hey, dad looks skinny, blah, 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 blah. We read that already. Look rather changed. All right, okay. I just got to look at my face in the dark reflection of this tablet. My eyes are a bit sunken in with dark circles underneath, and my cheekbones are sticking out so much they look like they could cut you. I don't doubt that I am continuing to lose weight. I'm going on 4 months now here, and in all that time, I've never felt a full stomach. I have in fact forgotten what that is like. There's never a time these days when I don't feel hungry, even right after a meal in which I completely clear my tray. I still feel hungry, but I'm trying my best to at least stay on some kind of shape, to stay up some kind of shape, and have done my push-up and crunches over the last few weeks. Arms are starting to look a bit bigger. It's funny how quickly and dramatically I get results from working out. I really should have done it more before. So you called the puppy Wookie instead of the obvious Chewy. Chewy sounds much better. I miss you very much. One nice benefit of the tablet is access to the law library, which has a lot of case law and rulings. Don't know how that's going to help you, but hey, do your thing. I've been busy looking through that a bit for anything relevant to my own situation, and I think I have found some things which give me some hope, but only some. I'm not foolish enough to get my hopes entirely up for anything. So he knows he's guilty here. He knows he's guilty. He definitely has a very defeated tone, but he definitely knows he's guilty. I'm not foolish enough to get my hopes up entirely up for anything, and I can only really hope that my legal team will agree with my ideas and are willing to pursue them as tenaciously as I want them to. I can't explain too much here, but there is still perhaps a slim hope for my situation. I don't know what that hope would be, so he just sounds really delusional to me. At any rate, my odds are not 0% at this time. Patience and faith and no small amount of praying and hoping is what is getting me through. What God are you praying to? After what you did to Maddie, what God are you praying to, and what God is listening? That's the question. That's the question. And if we really want to answer, then we might have to change the question to what entity are you praying to, and what entity is listening? Because it ain't the God of justice. It's most likely the devil, but we'll keep it moving. We won't get biblical on you, and we'll keep it moving. Okay. I maintain hope that I might be able to come home once this whole nasty business has reached its end, and ask that you both remain hopeful as well and hope to pray for me to be delivered home again. I have to have that hope, or I would be falling into true despair and lose the will to live. So keep the hope yourselves as well. Patience and faith. Still trying to figure out the issue with commissary on his tablet. It's blank when I open the link. An official came to check on me today to see how I'm doing in isolation. Really, I see if I'm cracking up and need to go back into the care of watch of mental health. And I mentioned to him my issue with commissary. He said he would look into it. I also opened a request to administration through this tablet regarding the issue as well. A few days ago, I expect a reply in the next day or two. I have only 7 coffees left, which is dangerously low for me. Dangerously low. Dangerously low. Such a victim, such a professional victim. I usually like two a day and have started rationing down to 1, but soon I'll have none, and then I'll be really glum. Such a weirdo. I also have only 3 pieces of root beer candy left, so things are getting quite bleak here for me in CISO. I've not been able to resupply since I've left the medical pod. I received a random drug test today. My name popped up on the list for it, which neither myself or the officer could understand, since we knew as well as me that I have been in isolation the whole time. So we both opened our eyes, and that is always one of my favorite times with them. Oh, no, I skipped something. So we both opened our eyes and chuckled and shrugged and did it anyway. Okay. Go figure. I wish I could be there when the pups start to open their eyes. That is always one of my favorite times with them, seeing their little eyes glow and more clear, and waking up the pen and seeing all the little, it's just like so boring to read this. I'm so sorry. It really is. It's just so boring reading this. Wow, I'm sorry. But I'm going to get through it because I want to read it for you guys, but it really is. It's just like my brain is like, oh my God, this is more sentences, you know? I'm glad Lacey is such a good mom, and I wish I was there to pet her and praise her. I may have the tablet a while longer, so write back if you like, and I might see it tonight. If not, the next day or two. Love you both. Hugs and kisses. All right. Let's go to the comment section, see how you guys doing real quick. Patty S says, Strategic Eyes, how do they monitor emails off the tablet? It's all software. It just, you know, whatever gets sent to in or out gets forwarded to some type of administrator. Some type of administrative account. So it's all software. It's easily done. It's all software. That's it. Easy to do. What else we got going on before I get back to reading this? Anybody else send something to Strategic that I missed? No, I don't see anything. All right, I'm going to jump back into this, guys. Please hit that like button. Support the channel. Hit the like button. We got 180 people in the chat right now watching this stream. I appreciate you. It's beautiful. It's a great crowd. The chat is moving at a great pace where people can talk to each other. It's not like a million people chatting at the same time, which is awesome. So please do engage, get in there, say hi. Even if you're just lurking, get in there, say hi, because it helps the engagement for the channel. And please make sure that you are definitely hitting that like button. All right. Perfect. Let's keep going. So Chris Stearns writes back to Stephan Stearns. You don't see the commissary and cannot order anything? I hope that gets resolved quickly. Do you remember your balance? Jail and prison are not meant to be comfortable. All part of the mental punishment, I guess. Stay positive. Talk with your attorneys. I keep thinking about how you would not ever rat out a friend, and it really made me mad, and I felt like you valued them over us. Now, I think this, using Chris Stearns' account, this is the mother here. Marilyn McCrae says, we appreciate you. Appreciate you too. Thank you so much. Puts a smile to my face. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. This platform is beautiful. You can reach people from all over the world, man. People you would never see in your real world. I would never see 99% of you people. And yet there's a platform where we can all come together and we can all talk and we can all share ideas. And this is beautiful. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, Marilyn. All right. So this is Stephan Stearns' mother writing under her husband's email account. And I think this is the big one. So we're going to start over again. You don't see the commissary and cannot order anything? I hope that gets resolved quickly. Do you remember your balance? Jail and prison are not meant to be comfortable. All part of the mental punishment, I guess. Stay positive. Talk with your attorneys. I keep thinking about how you would never, ever rat on a, how you would not ever rat out a friend. It really made me mad, and I felt like you valued them over us when you let them get away with stuff. Don't be doing that again. We all know blank, blank, blank was heavily involved in this. And I think blank, blank, blank is jensoto. Everybody on the internet believes that this email is referring to jensoto, okay? We all know jensoto was heavily involved in this, and I am disgusted that she is free and you are not, when this is not all your fault. So let's just listen to this, mommy. Even if jensoto is involved, right? And we don't have any evidence of that, all right? We just have the mother saying this. It is what it is. But he still did it, though. Even if jensoto assisted him, he still is where he needs to be. We need to get jensoto to join him in prison, but he still is where he needs to be because he did not protect Maddie. He victimized her. So how does jensoto's possible involvement take away in any way from what he did? But let's keep going. You need to think about yourself more and her less. She sure isn't thinking of you and how she can help you right now. That whole family is willing to stay quiet and let you take the fall for everything. When you do that, you are hurting us too. Please get out of your head over this and start talking with your attorneys. This stuff is serious and you need to approach it as life and death, which it is. Think of the craziness Maddie lived through with Jen's various partners. Not a stable life at all for a child. I pray for you. Well, I pray for Maddie and for you daily. Shame on this mother. What's wrong, Papa? All right, I'll hurry up and then we're going to have some fun, okay? Give me a minute. You guys heard it. We got to speed through this so I can have some fun with my son, because he came in here with the sulking face like, I could not ignore him, and he told me. He said, you said we were going to have fun, and you taking a long time. So he's right. Don't worry, we're going to get through this, but I got to hurry through it so I can go spend some time with my kid. All right. I haven't seen a camera. Yeah, how dare she put Madeline's name with him with prayers? How dare she do that? This lady's delusional. She's absolutely delusional. Your son killed Madeline Soto. Your son killed Madeline Soto. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way around it. He killed her. And we have evidence of him abusing that little girl. We can see him taking his member and doing horrible things to that kid. Full stop, point blank, period. Get out of the delusion, lady. Accept reality. Let's keep going. I am thrilled that you are working out again and have a physical outlet for the stress. I hope you get your coffee and candy straightened out quickly. So far, I haven't seen a cancellation on Congo. Let us know as stuff filters down to you through the system. This is origami book. It's just paperback, no paper, no patterns. If I read it right, well, I am off to feed the curly ones now. Love, hugs, prayers, now and every day and night, Mom. Wow. Disgusting. We got a $50 super chat from David, longtime member of the Strategiceyes show, moderator for the Strategiceyes show. He said, maybe I'm biased, but this channel gives the most in-depth analysis than any other. Experience definitely paying off, Strategic. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Thanks a million for your generosity. Thank you for supporting the channel for all these years. This guy has been with me for years. All right. I think that I could probably safely say, and I've dropped over 1,000 videos, but I had to pretty much wipe my catalog to appease the YouTube gods because they banned me like 6 times in the span of a year. I almost lost my channel. And I'm now a good boy now, guys. I'm a good boy. But I have done over 1,000 shows. And I have to say, I can honestly say David has probably seen 90 to 95% of those shows. The man has been a longtime supporter, and I 100% appreciate him. And I got to go right back in there with the appreciation and Joe and drop even more love to H. Sin, who dropped another super chat and said that the parents should consider GoFundMe for the victims of their son's alleged crime instead of spending money on crap for him. So thank you so much, David, and thank you so much, H. Sin. You guys are amazing. And then we got another super chat from T.O. Girl. Says, agreed with David. Thank you so much, T.O. Girl. Appreciate you. Think that's Canadian dollars. It's really generous and kind of you. You guys are just extremely generous today, and I really do appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. And believe me, I'm one of those people that knows how difficult it is out there. And for people to donate, I know that it's a lot. I know that it's not something that's easy to do. It's very difficult. All right, let's keep getting into it, because remember, I got to go play with my son. And please hit that like button, guys. All right. And how much more? We don't have much to do. Not much more to do. So, or we might have to do a part 2. We might have to do a part 2. So I'm going to stop it there, and then we'll do a part 2. We might do a part 2 tomorrow, something like, give you guys a break. I've done like four or five lives in like the last 24 hours. And you guys need a goddamn break from Strategic. You guys need a goddamn break from me. So we'll come back tomorrow. We'll do a part 2. We left off with this mother of the year. But I'm definitely curious to see how Stephan Stearns responds to that. because she made some very inflammatory statements. And I'm curious on, will Stephan ignore it or will he respond back to it? He doesn't seem like a dumb guy. So I have a feeling, and he has a lot of time to think about these things. So I have a feeling he's going to probably ignore what the mother said, because any response to that could possibly be incriminating. It could be incriminating for him. It could be incriminating for jensoto if the mother's not lying and he's just trying to protect her. Marilyn McCrae says, do a part 2 at Strategic Eyes. Go and play with your lovely son and your family, man. Bless. Appreciate you. I'm going to do that. So we're going to wrap it up here. Please make sure you hit that like button on your way out the door. I do appreciate you guys. Remember, we keep pushing the likes. I know it's annoying. I've already gotten complaints from people like, why you keep asking to do the likes? If we want to hit the like, we'll hit it because we want to, not because you're telling us, man. Well, actually, the person said, dude. They hit me with a dude. The reason why we keep pushing the likes is because the likes is what put us in the algorithm. The likes in the comments is what put us in the algorithm. The likes in the comments is what makes us pop up on people's feeds. And that's how you get new audiences. If you can't get into the algorithm, you just keep showing your video to the same people. And yes, this is a great crowd of people, but we want the show to grow. We don't want to just stay where we're at. We want to get to 100,000 subscribers. So we have to keep saying, hit the like, because every time somebody hits that like, guess what? That algorithm, that robot, that non-human is going to say, oh, people like this channel. Let me show this channel to other people. And more people get access to what we're trying to put forward on this show. So that's what we're doing, guys. So, guys, I appreciate you guys immensely. I'll see you guys on the next one. Look out for the merch. Thank you for everybody who joined the show. Look out for the membership. 99 cents for the membership. The cheapest membership on YouTube. If I could make it 50 cents, I would have made it 50 cents if I could. They definitely won't let me do 50 cents. So 99 cents for a month. Consider becoming a member of Strategic Eyes Show. Before I go, I want to give a big shout out to Lou, who just sent me a super chat. Is that £1 or something like that? I think 10 pounds, which the pound is worth more than the dollar. So she sent me more than $10, which is amazing, which is great. So 10 pounds. She says, have fun with your son. Family first. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.